Okay, YouTube, Tanner here with NFL Broadcaster. If you guys have just come across this video, go ahead and hit subscribe. I post daily NFL news videos, rumors, signings. I post basically anything you want in football, news-wise, or just to talk about. I do it here on NFL Broadcaster, so go ahead and hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. It helps me out so very much. We have like 95% of my viewers right now are not subscribed. But I'm gonna go over the first day of free agency. It was absolutely nuts. The first day of free agency, I was stuck at work, so I tried to do what I honestly tried to keep up with everything, but I was stuck at work and it just was not happening. So let me scroll like way down. I was reporting this on Instagram. Let me just see when all of this started. Okay. Let's start with Arizona Cardinals, okay? It was like first thing this morning. They signed punter Andy Lee on a one-year contract. I believe he's actually only the second player left from the 2004 NFL draft. The other one is Larry Fitzgerald and Ben Roethlisberger. So there's three players left in the NFL from the 2004 NFL draft. Andy Lee, a punter for Arizona, is one of them. Then Brandon Graham and the Eagles extended for 1 year. So he'll be through 2022, I believe. Marcus Golden was re-signed by the Arizona Cardinals on a 2-year deal. Shaq, Barrett, and the Buccaneers worked out an extension. Guess what? 4 years, $72 million. $72 million. Where are the Buccaneers getting that kind of money? That is absolutely nuts, man. $72 million. Lions signed Romeo, let me pronounce this correctly, Agholor, to a 3-year deal worth $39 million. So he's extended for 3 more seasons. He's one of their, staples on the defensive side of the ball. The Panthers signed former Vikings offensive lineman Pat Elflein to a 3-year, $13.5 million deal. Honestly, not bad for, I feel like, his play style and what he can provide. $13.5 million isn't really bad for him. So I think that was a good move by the Panthers there. The Patriots signed Jonnu Smith to a 4-year deal worth $50 million, making him the 3rd highest paid tight end in the league. Wow, 4 years for $50 million. The Patriots are wanting a reliable target for quarterback Cam Newton or whoever they have playing quarterback for the 2021 season and beyond. Jonnu Smith, that was like a huge thing. The Patriots ended up signing as well Matthew Judon, a former Raven, a stud. I think he's 25 years old. Matthew Judon is like 25, 26, I believe. But either way, they signed Matthew Judon, okay? Let me see how much they signed him for. 4 years, $56 million, okay? The Patriots made tons of moves today. They it's Bill Belichick, so everyone expects him to make moves, but this was nuts. Today was basically owned by the Patriots, okay? The 49ers extended cornerback Jason Barrett on a 1-year deal, bringing him back for $5.5 million, and I think he can earn up to $6.5 million depending on how he plays throughout the season. Danielle Hunter of the Vikings, this isn't like a signing, but it's just free agency news. He's actually frustrated with the Vikings team, and he's thinking about requesting a trade from the Vikings. He says he's exploring his options. That's per Chad Graff, a Vikings insider. The Rams placed a first-round tender on Darius Williams, so they might be keeping him. Patriots signed, another Patriots. They signed defensive back Jalen Mills, a former Eagle, for a 4-year, $24 million deal. Now, for 4 years, $24 million, could technically be overpaid for Jalen Mills, but I feel like it's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal for Jalen Mills and what he can provide. He's not like the best, but I mean, for 4 years of his time, $24 million. But if you think about the amount of money that the Patriots are spending today, that's a lot of money. That they probably overpaid Jalen Mills a bit there. The Jaguars are signing former Bears defensive lineman Roy Robertson Harris to a 3-year deal, $24 million. Corey Linsley. Oh, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. As you guys can tell, Green Bay Packers. Okay, I'm a big Green Bay fan. The Chargers signed Corey Linsley. It was a 5-year deal. I don't really see how much money. I didn't report how much money it was. I was stuck at work and I had to make this one really fast. But I know it's a 5-year deal, and I know it made him the highest paid center in the league. So obviously the Packers weren't going to be able to match that, especially with re-signing running back Aaron Jones. The Chargers are actually keeping cornerback Michael Davis on a 3-year contract. I didn't see the amount of money that they're paying him, but he's a great, very, very underrated cornerback in the league. Someone was going to snatch him up. I feel like his talent hasn't even really been recognized by the rest of the NFL yet. The Patriots signed wide receiver Kendrick Bourne, 49ers wide receiver. I mean, the Patriots are making tons of moves today, guys. Tons of moves. And then here is one of the biggest moves of the day. The Chiefs signed Joe Thuney to a 5-year deal worth $80 million. $80 million. This one kind of snuck up, and people were talking about Joe Thuney to the Bengals. They were talking about Joe Thuney to maybe a reunion with the Patriots. That was even a report flying around this morning. But I think the Chiefs just really snuck in there on that one. But, you know, they lost like 4, 5, 6 offensive linemen. They have absolutely no depth at the offensive line. So they had to sign Joe Thuney, and I don't know where they got $80 million. Obviously, they split that up per year because they just have that team. I don't know how they afford that. I would have to look at all the cap numbers, but the Raiders signed, get this, Yannick Ngakoue. They signed Yannick Ngakoue to a 2-year, $26 million contract. The Raiders are improving on the defensive side of the ball. Patriots, again here, paid Nelson Agholor. And I don't think anybody expected this one. Nelson Agholor was rumored to be going to the Colts, or sticking around with the Raiders was a small possibility. But Patriots signed Nelson Agholor, 2 years, $26 million. I don't know how the Patriots came up with all this money, dude. They spent so much money, and it was only day one. There's things going on right now as I'm making this video. Adam Schefter right now just tweeted Ryan Fitzpatrick just signed a $10 million deal with the Washington football team. What? God. Okay, that's a great breaking news live there. Broncos are signing Ronald Darby, a cornerback, to a 3-year, $30 million deal. Great pickup for the Broncos. They've always had a great defense, and I love what they do on the defense. Jaguars signed running back Carlos Hyde to 2 years, $6 million deal. $6 million, that's not bad for Carlos Hyde, but I do believe he's like 31 years old, so paying I mean, that's not a bad deal. And he's going to be reunited with Urban Meyer at Jacksonville because he's now the head coach there. So obviously he had a strong tie to Jacksonville. That was a projection that was correct. Jets signed wide receiver Corey Davis to a 3-year, $37.5 million deal. Wow. Didn't expect that one. I had Corey Davis going to Baltimore for reasons. I actually have a video on that you can watch. Titans signed Bud Dupree for a multi-year deal, $16.5 million per year. I didn't get to see how many years it was, but from what I've heard, they've overpaid him. $16.5 million a year for Bud Dupree. I love Bud Dupree. He's a great player. But for the Titans, I mean, that's not going to do. The Titans are not going to win a Super Bowl, okay? They're not going to win a Super Bowl. to me, I think they'll barely get in the playoffs. That's just my feeling. I've never been high on the Titans. Jets signed Carl Lawson, former Bengal, 3 years, $45 million, and he's only 25 years old. A great pickup for the Jets. Great pickup for the Jets. The Jets are really trying to make something happen here. They were like number 1 in the league with free cap space. And the Bengals, to replace Carl Lawson, signed Trey Hendrickson, former Saint, to a 4-year, $60 million contract. Think about this. Carl Lawson signed a 3-year, $45 million deal, but they just paid a guy for 4 years, $60 million. You're telling me they couldn't afford Carl Lawson back? Maybe he wanted to leave, but come on. You couldn't offer Carl Lawson more than that? That doesn't make any sense in my opinion. Vikings are signing former Giants defensive tackle. He's a nose tackle, probably the best nose tackle available right now in free agency. Well, he's not available anymore. 2 years, $22 million. A good deal for him. He's going to be going to the Vikings, and the Packers just lost their starting center, the best center in the league. So I know I missed some stuff in there, guys. I think the Broncos also re-signed Shelby Harris to like a 3-year deal. I didn't get to report all the news, but there was just so much happening today in the NFL, and I was stuck at work for 9 hours. So sorry about that, guys, but I wanted to give you guys an awesome recap on the first day of NFL free agency. Absolutely nuts. And honestly, this is just like the legal tampering period day. I think free agency doesn't even start till Wednesday, so nuts. This has been bonkers today. But guys, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, you gotta hit subscribe. If you made it this far in the video, you know you're interested, so I would really, really appreciate it, and I'd love to see you guys in the future videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.